Salutations, I'm Alexander, and if you are watching this video, it means I was unable to attend the presentation event live. So, I've provided our good host, Atloaf CrashUp Professional, with this video as a backup. Please make sure to thank him in the correct way. Today, I want to talk about stars, my journey interpreting and understanding them. What stars am I talking about? Well, the shape I aim to discuss are the star polygons. These are also known as the engrams, with the most common examples being the pentagram, hexagram, Star of David, and the octagram for anyone who's played around with pattern locks. The strict mathematical definitions of regular star polygons are shown here. These shapes have been thoroughly studied by mathematicians, including the famous Johannes Kepler, and I find most of them to be quite elegant in their design. Most regular star polygons can be denoted by their Schläfli symbol of P over Q, where P is the number of vertices of the star, and Q is the turning number, or the number of vertices stepped clockwise or counterclockwise to connect any two vertices. For example, with a pentagram having 5 vertices, we step 2 from any vertex to the next to draw the line segment. For regular star polygons, the turning number must be mutually prime with the number of vertices, otherwise we will have multiple stars overlapping and not a true regular star polygon. During my explorations, I found that letting the turning number be 1 less than half the number of vertices rounded up, I could reliably draw stars with an odd number of vertices and stars with a number of vertices divisible by 4. To get the rest of the even vertex stars, I had to make the turning number 2 less than half the number of vertices in order to get that mutual prime. Noticeably, while making star polygons with large numbers of vertices is easy, every method of constructing regular star polygons fails for 3, 4, and 6 vertices. 3 becomes an equilateral triangle, 4 a square, and 6, while the Star of David is technically a star, it's 2 shapes and doesn't have the continuity that I want. So how did I rectify this? By modifying the definition of the traits I wanted from stars. I specified that a star had to be created out of a singular closed polygonal chain, and I threw out the equiangular definition and replaced it with a radial and reflectional symmetry constraint. This led me to duplicate the shape, resize it, and rotate this interior polygon. With that, I managed to create a satisfactory 3-pointed star reminiscent of the Mercedes-Benz logo. However, this approach had a flaw in that applying it to the 4 and 6-pointed stars resulted in a star that had radial symmetry but lacked the reflectional symmetry I wanted. But I was stumped. For an entire year afterwards, I thought this was as far as I could go. Then I wondered, instead of adding an interior polygon and connecting the outer shell and inner shell, what if I instead had simply added 1 interior vertex between 2 exterior vertices for the 3-pointed star? And what if I added 2 interior vertices for the 4-pointed star? So I added the 2 interior vertices and drew the equilateral line segments. Equilateral, self-intersecting, singular closed polygonal chain, radial and reflectional symmetry. I had done it. I added 3 interior vertices for a 6-pointed star, and I was also pleased with the result. Although quite busy on the eyes, it satisfied all the revised constraints that I had put for myself. So, using my programming knowledge, I decided to code methods to mathematically draw the exact stars I had designed. And as I wrote the code and tested it, I found new constraints on the spacing of the interior vertices. For the 4-pointed star, the interior vertices had to be spaced between 0 and 45 degrees from orthogonal to prevent overlap. For the 6-pointed star, interior vertices had to be spaced between 0 and 60 degrees from the orthogonal to prevent the shape from breaking down completely. In terms of practicality, this exercise has no utility, but it was a neat little project that I got to spend time on while I wasn't studying or working. And in the end, I built an algorithm that lets me draw perfect stars to reference whenever I want. And if you understand nothing else from this presentation, you should leave with just this understanding that not everything needs to have a purpose, that not everything has to be capitalized on. Sometimes, at the end of the day, you just do things for fun. A little bit of joy in seemingly useless projects. Thank you. Next presentation, how to play Kisu against his will in Minecraft, but respectfully. Bye!